Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This evening's reciters are Pati Mataji for reading English translation and dear Rishita for reading Sanskrit verses. They'll be reciting from Srimad Bhagavatam chapter 28, Canto 3, verses 16 to 29. Dear Ishita, will you start with the invocation prayers 3 times, please? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 3 times, please. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 16. Kanchiganola sakronim hridayamboja vistaram darshaniyatmam santam manonayana vardhanam.
His loins and hips encircled by a girdle, he stands on the lotus of his devotee's heart. He is most charming to look at, and his serene aspect gladdens the eyes and souls of the devotees who behold him.
Text 17. Apitya darshanam shashvat sarvaloka namaskritam shantam vayasi kaishore prityanugraha kataram.
The Lord is eternally very beautiful, and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow his blessings upon his devotees.
Text 18. Kirtanya tirtha yashasam punya shloka yashaskaram dhyayatevam samagrangam yavanachyavate manaha.
The glory of the Lord is always worth singing, for his glories enhance the glories of his devotees. One should therefore meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead and upon his devotees. One should meditate on the eternal form of the Lord until the mind becomes fixed.
Text 19. Stitham vrajantamashinam shayanam vaguhashayam prekshaniye hitam dhyayet shuddha bhavena chetasa.
Thus, always merged in devotional service, the yogi visualizes the Lord standing, moving, lying down, or sitting within him. For the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are always beautiful and attractive.
Text 20. Tasmilabdha padam chittam sarvavayava samstitham vilakshakatra samyujjat ange bhagavato mune.
In fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective view of all his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord.
Text 21. Sanchintayed bhagavatascharanarvindam vajrankushadvajasarolachandanyam uttangarakta vilasannaka chakravala jyotsna virahata mahadhyadayandakaram.
The devotee should first concentrate his mind on the Lord's lotus feet, which are adorned with the marks of a thunderbolt, a goad, a banner, and a lotus. The splendor of their beautiful ruby nails resembles the orbit of the moon and dispels the thick gloom of one's heart.
Text 22. Yachchocha nishita sarit paravodakena tirthena murdini adhikritena shiva shiva bhut dhyaturmana shamala shaila nishrista vajam dhyayet chiram bhagavatascharanarvindam.
The blessed Lord Shiva becomes all the more blessed by bearing on his head the holy waters of the Ganges, which has its source in the water that washed the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord's feet act like thunderbolts, hurled to shatter the mountain of sin stored in the mind of the meditating devotee. One should therefore meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord for a long time.
Text 23. Chanudvayam jalaja nilochanaya jananya lakshma akilasya survindataya vidatu urvor nidhaya karapallava ruchishayat samlalitam ridhi vibhor abhavasya kuryat.
The yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person, Brahma. She can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the Transcendental Lord, very carefully serving him in this way.
Text 24. Urusuparna bhujayorati shobhamanav ujuniti atashika kusuma vabhasho vyalambi pita varavashisi vatamana kanchi kalapa parirambi nitamba bimbam.
Next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue, like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Although the yogi should also the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles.
Text 25. Nabhiridam bhuvana kosha guhodarastham yatratmayonitishanakhilalokapadmam vyuddham harinmani vrishastanayoramusya dhyayedvayam vishadahara mayukagauram.
The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen. From his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, sprang the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exquisite emeralds and which appear whitish because of the rays of the milk white pearl necklaces adorning his chest.
Text 26. Vakshodevasam rishabhasya mahavibhute pumsa manonayana nivritim adadhanam kantham cha kaustubhamanir adhibhusanartham kuryan manasi akhila loka namaskritasya.
The yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the abode of Goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the Personality of Godhead, who is adorned by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubha gem, which hangs on his chest.
Text 27. Bahumsha mandara gire parivartanena nirnikta bahu valayanadilokapalan santintaye dasha sataram asaya tejaha shankham cha tatkara saroraha rajahamsham.
The yogi should further meditate upon the Lord's forearms, which are the source of all the powers of the demigods who control the various functions of material nature. Then the yogi should concentrate on the polished ornaments which were burnished by Mount Mandara as it revolved. He should also duly contemplate the Lord's discus, the Sudarshan Chakra, which contains 1,000 spokes and a dazzling luster, as well as the conch, which looks like a swan in his lotus-like palm.
Text 28. Kaumodakim bhagavato dayatam smareta digdhamaraati bhatasonita kardamena mala madhuvrata varuta giropagushtam chaityasya tattvam amalam manimasya kanthe.
The yogi should meditate upon his club, which is named Komodaki, and is very dear to him. This club smashes the demons, who are always inimical soldiers, and is smeared with their blood. One should also concentrate on the nice garland on the neck of the Lord, which is always surrounded by bumblebees, with their nice buzzing sound, and one should meditate upon the pearl necklace on the Lord's neck, which is considered to represent the pure living entities who are always engaged in his service.
Text 29. Prityanukampita dhiye grihta murte sanchintayed bhagavato vadanaravindam yad vishpuran makara kundala vargitena vidyoditamala kapalom udaranasham.
The yogi should then meditate on the lotus-like countenance of the Lord, who presents his different forms in this world out of compassion for the anxious devotees. His nose is prominent, and his crystal-clear cheeks are illuminated by the oscillation of his glittering alligator-shaped earrings.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Ishita Mataji and the Pate Vyasi Mataji. So beautiful. Thank you so much for divine and Srimad Bhagavatam recitations. And thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly joining this evening to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and giving this opportunity to me to speak few words on Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so before we enter into Srimad Bhagavatam, we shall offer our Mangalachan prayers to offer our humble obeisances to all Acharyas, Radha, Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the Vaishnavas. Om अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतं स्वकथाः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वह्य भद्राणि विदुनोति सुहृत्सतां। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ये तेषां सकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे स्वदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुश्रूषामेषा पुराणार्पवादनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रये। अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्ते स्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्ति दृढं पाण्डुषु विष्णुषु त्वयिमेनन्य विषय मतिर्मदपति असुकृत रतिमुद्वाहत गङ्गवगुमुदन्वती श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णु शुभावनिधृग राजन्यवंशदहनानापवर्गवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुराट हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गीसङ्गस्य मर्त्याणां किमुताशशः पुनश्च भूयात् भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गाश तदा श्रेयेषु महस्तु यां यामुपयामि सृष्टिं मैत्रसु सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्गायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेणानामतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादाश्रीविरितः सङ्गृह्णाति आकर्वातद् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीम् ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः हरे कृष्ण Okay, thank you for kindly waiting. Okay, I shall share my screen. Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. The name itself, it gives so much of pleasure. Just hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. निगमकल्पतरुर्घलितं फलं सुखमुखादं मृतद्रव संयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं गुरवो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. So all the rasikas, so whoever wanted to drink the Srimad Bhagavatam, Pibata Bhagavatam. Okay, this is the place to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have been discussing in the third canto, where Kapila Bhagavan describing how to execute devotional service. So here, this is mainly focused on the yogis who are in the path of executing devotional service, going to a secluded place and sitting themselves in the purified place, and then controlling the senses, and during that time they also focus the mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his beautiful form, but four-handed form of the Lord. Okay, so in this sequence, Kapila Bhagavan is mentioning one has to meditate on the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That one, so how one has to meditate ekaika shankhan dhyana bhavayet padad yavad desitam gadabrutaha jitam sthanam apohya dharyet param sujjatihi yatha yatha. As we meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, and then shanks, thighs, navel, and then his chest, and gradually his beautiful face, his different limbs. So when we param sujjati dehi yatha yatha, the intelligence will be purified as we go upwards. Sukadeva Goswami, he says, and again here Kapil Bhagavan is speaking to Devhuti Mata. So his body is so beautiful, and describing every. First of all, he gives a beautiful descriptions in a summary way, and again he mentions how to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord, glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord, and then shanks, and then thighs, like that. So there he mentions Kanchi Guna Ulat Srodim Pudayam Bodhi Vishtaram Darshini Tamam Shantam Mono Nayana Vardhanam. Mono Nayana Vardhanam. It gives so much pleasure. It gives so much pleasure. And he is Apich Darshanam Shashwat Sarva Loka Namashrutam Santam Vaishi Kaishore Bruchanugraha Kataram Santam Vaishi Kaishore. And he is always in the Kishore age. Kishore age is around 15 to 16, is less than 16. So that Kishore age. And Bruchanugraha Kataram, always ready to render some favor to his devotees. Okay, and a devotee has, or a yogi has to meditate on that form of the Lord Ketanyatid yashisham punyashloka yashishkaram jayadhevam samagrangam yavanna chavate manaha. Every part of the Lord, every part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is properly formed. Samagrangam. So there is no defects at all. If it is material world, somewhere other body is defect in somewhere other. But here one has to meditate on the completely the Aishwarya, Vairagya, Yesho, Bhoda, Virya, Shriya, Purtam, Aham Prapadya. He is complete. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Budachyate. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. So he is complete in full-fledged beauty. Jhayadhevam samagrangam yavanna chavate manaha. And sometimes devotee has to meditate where the Lord is sitting this way and now Lord is lying this way. So as deities are kept to the sleep and then again waking up early in the morning. So in such a way, stham brajantamasinam sayanam va guhasayam प्रेक्षणीय ईहितं ध्यायेत् सर शुद्ध भावेन चेतसा शुद्ध भावेन. So we have to treat the Lord, even the deity form, as Lord. We are making the Lord to sleep and singing to the Lord and massaging his legs like that. So in such a way, तस्मिन् लब्धपथं चित्तं सर्वावयव संसितं विलक्ष्यकत्र संयुज्य अंगे भगवतो मुनिः. Vilakshakatra samyajjat ange bhagavato munihi. Every part needs to be meditated upon completely until full satisfaction to our heart. Okay, so there in that glorification, he starts with the lotus feet of the Lord. I'm just giving a little bit of recap. सञ्चिन्तयेद् भगवतः चरणारविन्दं वज्राङ्कुशध्वजसरोरुहलाञ्छनाब्जम् उत्तुङ्गरक्तविलसत्नखचक्रवाल जोष्णाभिराहत महद्हृदयान्धकारम्. And that lotus feet of the Lord to be meditated initially. Sanchintiyet bhagavataha charanaravindaṁ vajrankushadvacha saroruha lanchanadhyam. And the symbols Vajra Ankusha and Dwaja Saroruha, the four symbols are marked on the lotus feet of the Lord. That needs to be meditated. And it is Uttunga Rakta Vilasadnaka Chakravala. It is always reddish, and also his nails are as well. Josnat Virahad Mahat Pradayandakaram. The effulgence coming from the nails of the lotus feet of the Lord, it will dissipate the darkness in the heart of a devotee or any other people, whoever is meditating, not only a devotee, anyone, if he is having the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And then, yes, that lotus feet of the Lord, glories of the lotus feet of the Lord is Yassaucha Nistruta Sarid Pravarodakena Tidhena Mudhni Adhikrutena Siva Siva Bhut. जातुः मनः श्यामलशैलनिसृष्टवज्रं ध्याये चिरं भगवतः चरणारविन्दं ध्यायेत् भगवतः ध्यायेत् चिरं भगवतः चरणारविन्दं. That lotus feet of the Lord, one has to meditate for a long time, considerable. Chiram ध्यायेत् चिरं भगवतः चरणारविन्दं. Early in the morning when we see the Darshana of Radha Gokulananda, so beautifully that lotus feet, so delicate. Even the picture itself, when we see it, so delicate, and then we feel that one from that lotus feet of the Lord. The Ganges emanated and purifying all the three planetary systems, upper, middle, and lower planet systems, including Lord Shiva. Tidhena mudhni adhikrutena sivaha siva bhut. Lord Shiva is always Mangala. Shiva itself is Mangala. And even he will be purified. Because of that, he always keeps the Ganges on top of his head. Tidhena mudni adhikrutena sivaha siva abhut. And that lotus feet of the Lord, it will kick off all the hill of all the sinful tendencies of the living entity. Jatuho manah samala sayala nisrujavajram. Nisrustavajram. It is like a thunderbolt. Lord's lotus feet is a thunderbolt. And it will kick off all the sinful tendencies, all sins have been accumulated for so many lifetimes. As soon as Lord's lotus feet is there, everything will be turned to the ashes, turned to dust. Jatuho manah samala sayala nisrustavajram jhaye chiram bhagavataha charanara vindam. Again, meditating on that lotus feet for a long time. So beautiful. Again, Coming little bit up from the feet is the shanks, the legs. Janudvayam jalajalochaya jananya lakshmya kilasya survanditaya vidatuhu urvo nidaya karapallava rotishaya samlalitum hri vibhora bhavasya kuryat. That shanks, which is always goddess of fortune, is massaging very gently. Janudvayam jalajalochaya jananya Lakshmya Kelasya Suravanditaya Vidatuhu. During that time, all the demigods, Suravanditaya Vidatuhu, they are all offering obeisances unto the Lord and Goddess of Fortune, everyone. And during that time, Goddess of Fortune, Urvo Nidaya Kadapallava Rotishayat, and keeping on her thighs, Lord's lotus feet, the legs, and massaging so gently. Urvo Nidaya Kadapallava Rochishayat. Samlalitum Hrudi Vibhora Bhavasya Kuryat. Samlalitum Hrudi. This is so beautifully. These descriptions are so heart touching. So this is Urvo Nidaya Karapallava Rochishayat Samlalitum Hrudi Vibhora Bhavasya Kuryat. Very beautiful. The yogi should fix in his heart the activities of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, who is worshipped by all demigods and is the mother of the Supreme Person Brahma. She can always be found massaging the legs and thighs of the Lord's thighs of the transcendent Lord very carefully, serving him in this way. Okay, so this is so beautiful to. I always feel by heart this entire chapter, and one would feel so much of happy. All the shlokas, when you recite the shlokas, it is so pleasing. Okay, so this is a little bit of recap, and now the legs, and now to the thighs. So today our covering, so the thighs and his hips and his navel, and also his chest. So these are covered, and also his neck. So 24, 25, 26 slokas. So here Kapil Bhagavan says that Lord's lotus feet, it is the powerhouse, transcendental powerhouse. And it is so beautiful. Again, so much of beauty is coming from the Lord's description. And it is called Vojonidhi. And it is a powerhouse, and also his back, his beautiful hips, they are very round and covered by the yellowish cloth. Okay, likewise, this shloka comes. ऊरु सुपन्नभुजयोरदिशोभमानौ वोजो निदीयतसिका कुसुमावभासौ व्यालं विपीतवरवाससि वर्तमाना काञ्चीकलापपरिरम्बिनितम्बबिम्बम्. So beautiful. Can I request everyone to follow line by line? It would be very beautiful to hear everyone reciting as well, line by line. ऊरु सुपन्नभुजयोरदिशोभमानौ
Uru Suparna Bhujayoradi Shobhamanam
वोजो निदीयतसिका कुसुमावभासौ
Ojo Nidyatasika Kusuma Bhavaso
व्यालं विपीतवरवाससि वर्तमाना
Vyalambita Varavasasi Vartamana
काञ्चीकलापपरिरम्बिनितम्बबिम्बम्.
Kanchi Kala Parirambimbam
Again. ऊरु सुपन्नभुजयोरदिशोभमानौ
Uru Suparna Bhujayoradi Shobhamanam
वोजो निदीयतसिका कुसुमावभासौ
Ojo Nidyatasika Kusuma Bhavaso
व्यालं विपीतवरवाससि वर्तमाना
Vyalambita Vartamana
काञ्चीकलापपरिरम्बिनितम्बबिम्बम्.
Kanchi
Once more. Uru Supanna Bhujayo Radishobhamanau.
Uru Supanna Bhujayorvadi Shobhamano
Vojo Nidiyatasika Kusumavabhaso.
Ojo
Nidhi
Nidhi
Atasika Kusuma
Kusuma Vabhaso
Vyalam Vipita Varavasasi Vartamana.
Vyalam Vipita Varavasati Vartamana
Kanchi Kalapa Parirambinitam Bimbam.
Kanchi Kala Parirambhi
Bimbam.
Okay, very beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, due to time, so I shall move into the translation. So here, Vuru Supanna Bhujayo. Vuru is the two thighs, and Supanna Bhujayo. Suparna is the one, is Garuda. Parna is the wings. Suparna, he has got the transcendental wings as well. He is the servant of the Lord, Garuda. He is son of Vinata. Suparna Bhujayor, on his shoulders of Garuda, Lord keeps this Vuru. Adishobhamano, and it is so beautiful when he keeps his thighs on top of Garuda. And those thighs, Vojonidhi Yatasika Kusuma Bhasu, Vojonidhi, the storehouse of all energy, Vojonidhi, Atasika Kusuma, of the linseed flower. Okay, Atasika flowers, Kusuma Abhaso, like the luster, it is effulgent. And then that thighs, and then later on his hips. Vyalam Bipita Varavasasya Vartamana, and Vyalambi, and extending down this yellow garment on the Lord, it is extending from his thighs and down to the until the shanks. Vyalam Bipita Varavasasi, Pita is the yellowish, Varavasasi, exquisite beauty, Vasasi on the cloth, Vartamana being Kanchi Kalapa Parirambhinitam Bhabimbam. Kanchi Kalapa by a girdle. So everyone has got, sometimes we also used to have girdles. So Lord's girdle, it is so beautiful again. Number of times it is described. Kanchi Kalapa by girdle. Parirambi, it is encircle. And Nitamba Bhimbam, his rounded hips. Okay, that is the beauty of it. Uru Supanna Bhujayo Radishobhamanu. Vojo Nidhi Yatasika Kusuma Vabhasu Vyalam Vipeda Varava Sasya Vartamana Kanchi Kalapa Parirambi Nitamba Bimbam. Set translation. So next, the yogi should fix his mind in meditation on the personality of Godhead's thighs, the storehouse of all energy. The Lord's thighs are whitish blue like the luster of the linseed flower, and appear most graceful when the Lord is carried on the shoulders of Garuda. Also, the yogi should contemplate his rounded hips, which are encircled by a girdle that rests on the exquisite yellow silk cloth that extends down to his ankles. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, can I request anyone to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport. The personality of Godhead is a reservoir of all the strength, and his strength rests on his thighs and his transcendental body. His whole body is full of opulences, all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. The yogi is advised to meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord, beginning from the sole of the feet, and then gradually rising to his knees, to the thighs, and finally arriving at the face. The system of meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead begins from his feet. The description of the transcendental form of the Lord is exactly represented in the Arka Vigraha, the statue in the temples. Generally, the lower part of the body of the statue of the Lord is covered with yellow silk. That is the Vaikuntha dress, or the dress of the Lord wears in the spiritual sky. This cloth extends down to the Lord's ankle. Thus, since the yogi has so many transcendental objectives on which to meditate, there is no reason for his meditating on something imaginary, as is the practice of so-called yogis, whose objective is impersonal. Hare Krishna, and thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. So beautiful. Okay, again here, so Prabhupada is describing Lord is the reservoir of all strength. Aishwarya Vairagyo Yasho Bodha Virya Shriya Purtam Aham Prapadya Purtam complete. So that transcendental body. Okay, so his body is full of opulences, that is mentioned. And again, yogi is advised to meditate upon the transcendental form of the Lord, because in this material world, everyone are used to see the material bodies, and sometimes they are frustrated. And then imagine some form Lord, not like the material world people. He might be having formless. They think negate the material world, but actually, Lord has got a transcendental body that they are not aware of. Okay, so here yogi is advised upon the transcendental form. Otherwise, Krishna mentions it is very difficult for in impersonalists to meditate upon even देहवद्भिः क्लेशोदिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तासक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखं देहवद्भिर् अवाप्यते. Because we are materially embodied, it is very difficult. Okay, so to imagine something which is formless. And here, beginning from the soles of the feet and then gradually rising to the knees, to the thighs, and finally arriving at the face, as a system of meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It begins from his lotus feet. That's why he always keeps his lotus feet open. Sometimes we do not see in some of the temples that lotus feet. We must see Pradarshyantam Krupayanakendu Mayoka Bhinnangli Charupatram. The Shastra says that one. Pumsam Swakamai Viviktamaddaihi Abhyachatam Kamadugangri Padham. Pradarshayantam Krupayanakendu Mayoka Bhinnanguli Charupatram. Lord always shows his lotus feet to his devotees. Okay, but sometimes those feet are covered in different temples, but Krishna conscious temples, they're always open to devotees. Devotees, they meditate on the Lord's feet. It is what actually one has to go step by step. As it is mentioned here. That's why we go to the temple, because of our material conceptions. And so our Lord has appeared in the form of a deity, Acha Vigraha. So Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Suti Abhivandanaihi Bhuteshu Madbhavanaya Satven Asangamena Cha. So Lord says, one has to come to my temple and see my beautiful form. Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Stuti Abhivandanaihi. One has to touch the deities as well. Sparsha Puja Stuti Abhivandanaihi. Perform Archana Abhivandanaihi. So these are to be performed. This is for which we are used for it. It is very easy for us. If Lord comes as a like Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, we cannot even see a little bit part of the Lord's body. Ayamata vistaratuho swabhano dehena lokatriya sangrahena vichitra divya varnam shukanam. So this is again vichitra divya varna shukanam. He has got huge body, and all big body contains huge dress, huge necklaces, huge garlands on his body. Even we cannot imagine. This is bigger than the universe. It is in spread all his body in the Garbhodaka ocean. And on top of that, Mahavishnu, he is lying in the Karana ocean. How big they are. So it is very difficult for us if Lord appears in that form. So for us, Lord kindly appear in the form of deities, and most mercifully he come in the small deity forms as well. It is our fortunate to have deities in our home and worship the Lord according to our sweet loving relationship. So that is Natarhijit Madparaha Shanturope Nakshintinomi Animisho Lady Hetihi Yesham Guru Suta Priya Atma Sutasha Saka Guru Suhra Daivam Ishtam. So this kind of relationship, it will never ever be lost with the Lord. If we have got deities, like Srila Prabhupada has got his Radha Krishna deities given by his father in the childhood. So Prabhupada used to worship those. That relationship is eternal. न करिहित मत्पराः शान्तरूपे नक्षन्ति नो मे animisho lediheti. That relationship is never lost once you establish that relationship with the Lord. That is eternal. So here, meditating on the Acha Vigraha. Generally, the lower part of the body of the statue of the Lord is covered with yellow silk. Whenever we see Lord, it is yellow is always it is prominent. Sometimes we see different dresses as well. It happens. All Lord's desires will be fulfilled through his devotees. It is according to the desire of the Lord. It will manifest through the devotees. But actually, Vaikuntha dress is yellow. That is the Vaikuntha dress, or the dress of Lord wears in the spiritual sky. And this cloth again, it extends up to the Lord's ankles. Since the yogi has so many transcendental objectives on which to meditate, there is no reason for his meditation on something imaginary. So here, the beautiful form of the Lord. Okay, that is from this shloka. Again, there in the Vaikuntha planets, there once Kumaras gone to Vaikuntha. Ta ekada bhagavato Vaikuntha Syamalatmanaha Yuyur Vaikuntha Nilayam Sarvaloka Namaskrutam. Once upon a time, though 4 Kumaras and went, they see the Lord, the beautiful form. When there is a clash between Jaya and Vijaya and the 4 Kumaras, at the time Lord comes to that place. There tam tvagatam aupika swapumbabihi tam tvagatam aupika that comes like let me just bring that one. Tam tvagatam aupika tam agatam pratikurta aupikam swapumbabihi te takshata akravesham swasamadhi bhagyam Hamsa Sriyoho Gajanayoho Sivavaya Lolad Shubhra Atapatra Sasikesara Sikarambhum. That beautiful form of the Lord, it comes like this. This is the Vaikuntha. That descriptions of the Vaikuntha Lord, along with Goddess of Fortune, he comes to the place where Jaya and Vijaya are standing at the gate. The 4 Kumaras are here and they look at the beauty of the Lord. They drink and then look at the starting frame. Nemud Niriksha Navitrutta Drushomudakaihi. Nemud Niriksha. They look at the lotus feet and then fall Dandavat Pranam. Nemud Niriksha Navitrutta Drushomudakaihi. Atropustim Usmitam Indirayaha. Atropustim iti Usmitam Indiraya. It is described, the form of the Lord, it is so beautiful than the Indira, goddess of fortune, most beautiful than Indira. So this is again according to the Swanam Dhiya, according to the devotee's desire, they will be thinking, my Lord would be so beautiful. Likewise, according to their expectation, according to their expectations, the Lord body is constructed. He protects everyone, and he is so beautiful as well. Mahyam bhavasya bhavatam cha bhajantamangam nemu niriksha navitrutta drusho mudakaihi. Lord Brahma glorifies the beauty of the Lord. He is worshipable for me and for Lord Shiva and for all of you, O demigods. He is explaining the Vaikuntha Katha. So here coming again back to the beautiful form of the Lord. So no need to imagine something. So Lord has got a beautiful form. But here, so for materialistic peoples or impersonalists, it is like described. Universe is like you can imagine like a Pata Loka is his feet and then Brahma Loka is his head. It is kind of a Etadrupam Bhagatoshi Arupasidatmanaha Maya Guner Virichitam Mahadhadi Viratmani. Maya Guner Virichitam Mahadadi Viratmani. It is like a for foolish people for understanding. But Lord has got a Chidatmani, the transcendental form which is in the spiritual realm. Okay, that beautiful this shloka. Uru supanna bhajayo radhishobhamanu vojo nidiyatachika kusumava bhasu vyalam vipita varavasasi vattamana kanchi kalapa parirambhinitambha bimbam. Okay, so that shloka we shall move on to the next is the is a novel of the Supreme Lord. And where Lord Brahma, he appears, and then the lotus flower appears, and from the lotus flower, Lord Brahma, and the stem of the lotus flower, all the 14 planetary systems exist within the stem. And then later on, little bit up, his chest, which is decorated with a beautiful necklaces. Okay, that the shloka. नाभिहृतं भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं यत्रात्मयोनिदिशिनाखिललोकपद्मं व्यूढं हरित्मनिवृषस्तनयोरमुष्य ध्यायेद्वयं विशदहारमयूखगौरम्. It's so beautiful. Again, I request all devotees, wherever it is possible, kindly unmute, recite along with me, line by line. नाभिहृतं भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं
नाभिहृदयं भुवनकोशगुहोदरसितं
यत्रात्मयोनिदिशिनाखिललोकपद्मम्
यत्रात्मं योगी दिशनाखिललोकपदम्
व्यूढं हरित्मनिवृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
योधां हरिन्
वृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
अमुष्य
ध्यायेद्वयं विशदहारमयूखगौरम्.
ध्यायेदेयं विशदाहुरामयूखगौरम्.
Okay, again, once more. नाभिहृतं भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं
नाभिहृदयं
भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं
भुवनकोशगुहोदरसितं
यत्रात्मयोनिदिशिनाखिललोकपद्मम्
यत्र आत्मा योगी
लोकपदम्
व्यूढं हरित्मनिवृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
योदं
वृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
ध्यायेद्वयं विशदहारमयूखगौरम्.
ध्यायेदेयं विशदाहारमयूखगौरम्.
नाभिहृतं भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं
नाभिहृदं
भुवनकोशगुहोदरस्थं
यत्रात्मयोनिदिशिनाखिललोकपद्मम्
यत्रात्मयोगी
खिललोकपदम्
व्यूढं हरित्मनिवृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
योधं
हरिन्मणिवृषस्तनयोरमुष्य
ध्यायेद्वयं विशदहारमयूखगौरम्.
ध्यायं देयं
विशदाहरमयूखगौरम्.
विशदाहरमयूखगौरम्.
So much. Okay, Nabhihradam is the pond within the navel lake, within the Lord's navel. Nabhihradam Bhuvanakosha Guhodarastam. Bhuvanakosha, all of the folds, the 14 planetary systems. Guha Budara, the foundation, and the Guha is the foundation, Udara on the abdomen. Guha Udara, Astam situated. Yatratma Yoni Dishinakila Lokapadmam. Yatra, where, and the lotus navel comes from the
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Yatratma Yoni Dishinakila Lokapadmam. And this lotus flower, the universal lotus flower, where it has emanated from. Yatra Atma Yoni of Brahma. Atma Yoni, Brahma is called Atma Yoni. Dishina Akila Loka Padmam. Dishina is the residence. Akila Loka, and containing all planetary systems. Padmam, that lotus. Okay, so in the Brahma situated in the lotus flower, and the stem, he has divided that stem into 3 parts, upper, middle, and lower. Later on, again, he divided into 14, and where all these 14 planet systems reside within the lotus flower stem. Kidnabhishadam bhuvanakosha guhodharastam yatratmayoni dishinakila lokapadmam. And then a little bit going further up body of the Lord, it is sthana is his chest. So sthana is glorifying the actual words are Vrushastanaya of his the chest. Vyodam harit mani Vrushastanayor mushya Vyodam, and it sprang up harit mani like emeralds. Vrusha, most exquisite. Stanayoho of nipples. Amushya of the Lord. Stanayor amushya. Jayed Dvayam, and he should meditate Dvayam, the 2 pair, the 2 nipples of the body of the Lord. Jayed Dvayam, Vishidahara Mayuka Ghoram. Whenever it is that Kaustubha jewel, it is greenish, it is wearing that one. It is so beautiful. It is Vrusha, Stanayora Mushya, so beautiful. And Jayed Dvayam Vishidahara Mayuka Ghoram. Mayuka Ghoram. The hara is the pearl necklaces, Mayuka Gauram, from the light, and Gauram, this whitish. So that pearl necklaces, they are also emanating the effulgence. Jayad Vayam Vishidahara Mayuka Gauram. Okay, translation. The yogi should then meditate on his moon-like navel in the center of his abdomen, from his navel, which is the foundation of the entire universe, sprang the lotus stem containing all the different planetary systems. The lotus is the residence of Brahma, the first created being. In the same way, the yogi should concentrate his mind on the Lord's nipples, which resemble a pair of most exquisite emeralds and which appear whitish because of the rays of the milk-white pearl necklaces adorning his chest. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, there are 2 paragraphs. Can I request 2 devotees to read? One devotee, one first paragraph, please.
Can I read it, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
The yogi is advised next to meditate upon the navel of the Lord, which is the foundation of all material creation, just as a child is connected to his mother by the umbilical cord, so the firstborn living creature, Brahma, by the supreme will of the Lord, is connected to the Lord by a lotus stem. In the previous part, it was stated that the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, who engages in massaging the legs, ankles, and thighs of the Lord, is called the mother of Brahma. Brahma is born from the abdomen of the Lord, not from the abdomen of his mother. These are inconceivable conceptions of the Lord, and one should not think materially. How can the father give birth to a child? Can I
Hare Krishna,
continue?
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I continue? May I read, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, second paragraph, please.
Thank you. It is explained in the Brahma Samhita that each limb of the Lord has a potency of every other limb, because everything is spiritual. His parts are not conditioned. The Lord can see with his ears. The material ear can hear but cannot see. But we understand from the Brahma Samhita that the Lord can also see with his ears and hear with his eyes. Any organ of his transcendental body can function as any other organ. His abdomen is the foundation of all the planetary systems. Brahma holds the post of the creator of all planetary systems, but his engineering energy is generated from the abdomen of the Lord. Any creative function in the universe always has a direct connection with connecting link with the Lord. The necklace of pearls, which decorate the upper portion of the Lord's body, is also spiritual, and therefore the yogi is advised to gaze at the whitish luster of the pearls decorating his chest. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Mataji, very beautiful. So here, so Prabhupada is comparing how a child takes birth in this in the human world from his mother, connected to his mother by the umbilical cord. So the firstborn living creature, Brahma, by supreme will of the Lord, is connected to the Lord by the lotus stem. Okay, so beautiful comparison. Okay, again, it is that it was stated that the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, who engages in massaging the legs, ankles, and thighs of the Lord, she is called the mother of Brahma. But actually, Brahma is born from the abdomen of the Lord, not from the abdomen of his mother. So again, this is once again inconceivable conceptions of the Lord. Again, goddess of fortune, she is always serves Jagat Jananyam Jagadisha Vaisam Shadhe Vyatkarminaha Samihitum Karoshi Falguapi Guru Dhyena Vachalaham Swayev Dishne. So there is one beautiful thing. Swayev Dishne Vitarasya Kim Thaya. My dear Lord, what is the need of goddess of fortune for you? Prithu Maharaj says to the Lord, saying that in his prayers, what is the need? Because you are always inclined to your devotees. You do not need goddess of fortune, but you are all inclined to the devotees. Karoshi palgu apinaha dena vachalaha. So likewise, he glorifies in his prayers. It comes in the later on fourth canto. Okay, so but here, Lord doesn't need goddess of fortune to beget a child. So here in this material world, that, for example, Lord says to goddess of fortune, like a fish, it nourishes its babies by the eyesight, and bird nourishes its babies by the sense of touch. And the tortoise, it lays the eggs on the shore, enters into the water, and it meditates upon the eggs from the water. And in such a way, I also nourishes all my children, all the souls, all my devotees. Likewise, Lord says. So he is inconceivable. He can do things in any direction, in any way. So this one again in the Brahma Samhita Prabhupada is explaining. So the summary of the shloka comes. Angani yasya sakalendri vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadajvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Brahma, after his realization, he has compiled the Shri Brahma Samhita. So where he glorifies the Lord, saying that all parts of Lord's body performs all actions. So one part performs actions of all other parts as well. Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadajvala vigrahasya. It is ananda chinmaya, chinmaya. It is a transcendental body. Sadajvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So that is the purport of the second paragraph. He can do anything from anywhere. He can come from anywhere throughout the universe. Ekopyasau rachitum jagadanda-kotim yachakvirasti jagadanda-chaya yadantaha andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. This, he enters into the paramanu, he enters into the universe. Where are the paramanus? Paramanus are spread everywhere. Even if we take an inch of space, millions of paramanus. And each Lord is in the every paramanu. That's why he can come out from anywhere. He is complete. He is filled entire cosmic manifestation. So we are all situated within the body. Maya tadam idam sarvam jagadabhyakta murtina. So in the abhyakta murtina. So we are situated in the abhyakta form of the Lord. Okay, so this is this paragraph describes about Lord's inconceivable potencies, and here Here Lord's mentioning, and any creative function in the universe always has a direct connecting link with the Lord. And the necklace of pearls which decorates the upper portion of the Lord's body is also spiritual, and therefore the yogi is advised to gaze at the whitish luster of the pearls decorating his chest. So glorify. Everything connected to the Lord is spiritual, not anything of material. एतद्देशरमीशस्य प्रकृस्तोऽपि तद्गुणैः न इज्जिते सदा आत्मस्थैः यदा बुद्धिः तदाश्रय. When Lord is transcendental, he does not take pleasure in any inferior or material things. Okay, everything is of transcendental. Okay, this is from this purport. Nabihradam punakosha guhodarastam yatratmayoni dishinakila lokapadmam vyodam haritmani vrushastanayораmushya dhyayed bhayam vichidahara mayuka ghoram. Very beautiful slokas. It is complete satisfaction when we describe the beauty of the Lord. Okay, and again going up a little bit up. So Vaksha, so his chest, and which is again where Kastuba jewel is decorated, and one who is meditating, he will completely satisfied by seeing that chest of the Lord. And his chest is the abode of goddess of fortune. And the Kaustubha jewel is hanging through his neck. Likewise, Kapil Bhagavan is describing here. We shall go and decide. Vakshodivasan Vrishabhasya Mahavibhutehe Pumsam Manonayna Nirutum Madadhanam Kantam Cha Kaustubhamanirajibhoshanardham Puryat Manasi Akilaloka Namaskrutasya Vakshodivasan Vrishabhasya Mahavibhutehe. So can you request all devotees again to recite, follow line by line? वक्षोदिवासं वृषभस्य महाविभूतेः
वक्षोदिवासं वृषभस्य महाविभूतेः
पुंसां मनोनयननिवितिमादधानम्
पुंसं मनोनयननिर्वितं आदधानाम्
कण्ठं च कौस्तभमणिरतिभूषणाढ्यम्
कण्ठं च
कौस्तुभमणिर्भूषणार्थं
कुर्यात् मनसि अखिललोकनमस्कृतस्य
नमस्कृत्यस्य
Again. वक्षोदिवासं वृषभस्य महाविभूतेः पुंसां मनोनयननिर्वितुम् आदधानम्
पुंसं मनोनयननिर्वृतम् आदधानम्
कण्ठं च कौस्तभमणिरतिभूषणाढ्यम्
कण्ठं कौस्तुभमणिर्भूषणार्थं
कुर्यात् मनसि अखिललोकनमस्कृतस्य
कुर्यात् मनसि अखिललोकनमस्कृतस्य
Once more. वक्षोदिवासं वृषभस्य महाविभूतेः
वृषभस्य महाविभूतेः
पुंसां मनोनयननिर्वितुम् आदधानम् कण्ठं च कौस्तभमणिरतिभूषणाढ्यम् कुर्यात् मनसि अखिललोकनमस्कृतस्य Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, we shall move to that and the synonyms. So here, Vakshodivasam. So on the chest, the abode of the chest of the Lord is the Rushabhasya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavibhutehe of Mahalakshmi. His chest is the abode of Mahalakshmi. And that one, Pumsam Manonayna Nivritim adadanam of the person's manaha to the mind, nayana nivritim, and it gives a transcendental pleasure to the people whoever sees that form. Nivritim adadhanam, bestowing all kinds of happiness. Pumsam manonayani nivritim adadhanam, kantam cha kaustabhamaniradi bhoshanardham, kantam cha, the neck of the Lord, which is decorated with the kaustabhamani of the kaustabhajam, and adibhoshanardham, which enhances the beauty. So Lord is bhoshanangam. He gives the beauty to the ornaments itself. Bhoshanangam. So here, kantam cha kaustabhamani bhoshanardham, which enhances the beauty. And kuryat manasi, and he should meditate, the yogi should meditate on manasi, in the mind, Akilaloka namaskritasya, by the entire Akilaloka, by the entire universe, namaskritasya, who is adored. Okay, so that is translation. The yogi should then meditate on the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the abode of Goddess Mahalakshmi. The Lord's chest is the source of all transcendental pleasure for the mind and full satisfaction for the eyes. The yogi should then imprint on his mind the neck of the Personality of Godhead, who is adored by the entire universe. The neck of the Lord serves to enhance the beauty of the Kaustubha gem, which hangs on his chest. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Again, 2 paragraphs. Can I request again 2 devotees to take a turns to recite? Read, please. First paragraph, 1 devotee. Second paragraph, another
Hare
devotee.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
In the Upanishads, it is said that the various energies of the Lord are working to create, destroy, and maintain. These inconceivable varieties of energies are stored in the bosom of the Lord. As people generally say, God is all powerful. The prowess is represented by Mahalakshmi, the reservoir of all energies, who is situated on the bosom of the transcendental form of the Lord. The yogi who can meditate perfectly on the spot on transcendental form of the Lord can derive many material powers which comprise the 8 perfections of the yoga system. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. It seems next paragraph is big. Maybe you can again split into 2 devotees. Maybe up to here 1 devotee, please.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
It is stated herein that the beauty of the neck of the Lord enhances the beauty of the Kasturba gem rather than vice versa. The gem itself becomes more beautiful because it is situated on the neck of the Lord. A yogi is therefore recommended a meditation upon the Lord's neck. The Lord's transcendental form can either be meditated upon in the mind or placed in the temple in the form of the statue and decorated in such a way that everyone can contemplate it. Temple worship is therefore meant for persons who are not so advanced that they can meditate upon the form of the Lord. There is no difference between constantly visiting the temple and directly seeing the transcendental form of the Lord. They are of equal value. The advantageous position of the yogi is that he can sit anywhere in a solitary place and meditate upon the form of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request the devotee to read the rest of the paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I try, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
A less advanced person, however, has to go to the temple, and as long as he does not go to the temple, he is unable to see the form of the Lord. Either by hearing, seeing, or meditating, the objective is the transcendental form of the Lord. There is no question of voidness or impersonalism. The Lord can bestow the blessings of transcendental pleasure upon either the visitor of the temple, the meditator yogi, or one who hears about the Lord's transcendental form from scriptures like the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. There are 9 processes for executing devotional service, of which Smaranam or meditation is one. Yogis take advantage of the process of Smaranam, whereas Bhakti Yogis take special advantage of the process of hearing and chanting. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. It's so beautiful again. Prabhupada is describing. So Lord has got, he has nothing personally has to do and involved in every activity. The Upanishad says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat samasya abhitikasya drusyate, parasaktir vividaiva shruyate. There are so many of energies. Parasaktir vividaiva shruyate. They are Swabhaviki, Jnana, Bala, Kriyacha. Many of those energies. They work on behalf of the Lord. Just only Lord has to think. That's it. Sometimes the Lord does not have to. They will automatically orchestrate according to the desire of the Lord. Okay, that is the Lord's energies. And here, the province is represented by Mahalakshmi, the reservoir of all energies. This is the Bhakshodhyavasam Vrishabhasya Mahavibhutehe. All goddess opportunities reside on the chest of the Lord, bosom of the transcendental form of the Lord. Yogi who can meditate perfectly on that spot, on the transcendental form of the Lord, can derive many material powers, but it is not the goal of a human life. Okay, and further Prabhupada is describing in such a Bhoshanangam. So Lord he himself is decorating the Kaustubha jewel, though it is meant to enhance the beauty of the Lord. So here Lord said, Prabhupada is saying it is vice versa. The gem itself becomes more beautiful because it is situated on the neck of the Lord. So sometimes in this material world, we would see some of the very beautiful items, if they are given to who are like a once upon a time there is a, I think British in England, the beautiful, what I don't know what is the Mercedes car, something like that. One of the rich person, he came here and in a normal way he went to the shop and trying to look that one, and they did not allow him to as a normal disguise, a normal human. They did not allow him to enter. That king, actually Indian king, and then next day he went to in his royal form, and then they have invited him. At that time he bought a few of the cars, and then he has taken to India, and then later on he used those posh cars for moving the dump and the dirt and everything, and then the fame of that car company, it came down. For what purpose it is used? Okay, so in such a way one can, it is a again materialistic strategies, but here Prabhupada explained that one in one of the purports lectures. Here the Kaustubha gem, it is being glorified because it is decorated in the neck of the Lord. So a yogi is therefore recommended to meditate upon Lord's neck. And Lord's transcendental form can either be meditated upon in the mind or placed in a temple in the form of a statue and decorated in such a way that everyone can contemplate it. This is why we have got temples, and early morning as we see, the Lord is so beautifully decorated with all the jewelries, and again nice dresses. Every day dress is changing, and the dresses also colors, where colors slowly moving from one color to another color, another color, another color. Okay. So let's likewise we have got that opportunity to see the transcendental body of the Lord in the temples. So temple worship is therefore meant for persons who are not so advanced that they can meditate upon the form of the Lord. So this one again, Kapil Bhagavan describes, I think somewhere here in the 29th chapter, he mentions that one has to meditate Bhakti Yoga Bhakti Yoga Bhavido Margaihi Bhamini Bhavite Swabhava Guna Margena Pumsam Bhavo Vibidhyate. So there he mentions Yetavad Jeva Until to that point, one has to meditate the form of the Lord. Let me just do. I think it is 18th or 19th sloka. This one. So Archavad, this is the one. Archadavarchayet tavad Ishwaramam Swakarma Kurut Yavanna Veda Suhridi Sarvabhuteshu Avasitam. So performing his prescribed duties, one should worship the deity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead until one realizes my presence in his own heart and in the hearts of other living entities as well. This yogi, because until he comes to that point, he has got the opportunity to go to the temples and worship the deity form. It is not mandatory that yogi must go to the temples. But if the yogi is able to capture the form of the Lord, he can go anywhere throughout the universe. So here, performing his prescribed duties, one should worship the deity of Supreme Personality of Godhead until one realizes my presence in his own heart. Until that point, this is Tavad. Archadhu Archayed Tavad. Until that point. Ishwaramam Swakarma Kurat. That's why we have got the opportunity to go to the temples. My presence, Lord's presence is there in the heart of all the living entities, but he has to come to that realization. Okay, so coming back here. So temple worship is therefore meant for persons who are not so advanced that they can meditate upon the form of the Lord. So there is no difference between constantly visiting the temple and directly seeing the transcendental form of the Lord. Okay, so this is again, we can see the transcendental form of the Lord anywhere through the sound vibrations, through the eyes, and reading scriptures. So everything. So Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. When we hear about the Lord, it is also seeing the Lord through the ears. Seeing the Lord through ears by hearing Krishna Katha. So they are of equal value. The advantageous position of the yogi is that he can sit anywhere in a solitary place and meditate upon the form of the Lord, because he captures the Lord. Deham chitam nasitaha buttitam va siddho vipasiti yataha adhikama swarupam daivad vupetam ata daivashad apetam. So there it is described yatha parikrutam madir madandaha. A yogi who captures the Lord in his heart, and he understands his constitutional position. So he does not worry about this material world. He does not worry about, he can go anywhere. That is the form. That is the situation of a devotee, who has realized the form of the Lord. Dehopi devashagha kalu karma yavat swarambakam pratisabhikshita eva sasuhu tam saprapancha adhiroda samadha yogaha swapnam punar na bhajite pratibuddha vastuhu. He has attained that pratibuddha vastuhu. That is the form of the Lord. And he has nothing to do in this material world. He can go anywhere. So a less advanced person, however, has to go to the temple. As long as he does not go to the temple, he is unable to see the form of the Lord. As long as he does not go to the temple, he is unable to see the form of the Lord. This is even though this is called Lord's throwing illusory energy, covering illusory energy. They are covering the people's intelligence, so that because of their material desires, they cannot come to the Lord. So here, by hearing, seeing, or meditating, the objective is the transcendental form of the Lord. There is no question of wideness or impersonalism. And the Lord can bestow blessings of transcendental pleasure upon either the visitor of the temple, the meditator yogi, or one who hears about the Lord's transcendental form from scriptures like the Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So this is for, but one point here, there is no question of wideness or impersonalism. Again, Prabhupada always quotes, ye anye aravindaksha vimukta maninaha tvayeshta bhavad avishuddha buddhayaha, with impurified intelligence. Their intelligence is still cloudy. Avishuddha buddhayaha. Aruhya kurchrena param padam tataha patantyadaha anadruta ishmadangareyaha. They fall down from all of their position, even though they have achieved up to Brahma stage. From there, they will fall down because they make mistakes at the lotus feet of the Lord. When the Lord is saying that I am beautiful, aham evasam evagre nan yad sad asat param pashadaham idetacha so avshisheta so asmyaham. I exist before the creation, during the creation, after the creation. And aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So that is a beautiful form of the Lord from where everything else comes. But here impersonalists, so they ignore, they make the Vayashta Bhavad Avishuddha Buddhayaha Anadruta Yushmadangareyaha Patantyadaha, they fall down, Anadruta Yushmadangareyaha, they make mistake at the lotus feet of the Lord. They think only Brahman effulgence is the highest. There is no beyond that. If I say that my father's opulence, my home is the best, but he does not believe my father. So that is, it's meaningless. That if we think that there is no one beyond the home and the opulences, so there is a person behind. So there is no logic for the impersonalism. So here one has to hear from the scriptures as it is. One should not contemplate that it may be imaginary, something like that. It is again Shastra says that Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri Vidin Bina Harer Bhakti Aikantki Harer Bhakti Hi Utpatayaiva Kalpate. If one is contemplating imaginary things, then within the Hari Bhakti Utpatayaiva Kalpate, he will go in the wrong directions, calamities within his spiritual life. One has to follow Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri Vidin Bina Aikantiki Harer Bhakti Hi Utpatayaiva Kalpate. So one must accept only the Vedic scriptures, not the imaginary words or assumptions or opinions of the people. So one, as it is, we have to take from the scriptures. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they are the preliminary scriptures for all Vaishnavas. Again, there are many of them. All of them are also supplementary knowledge to the main thing, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Vedas, Upanishads, and many other Puranas. Jnanam paramuguhyam me yad vijnana samanvitam sa rahasyam tadangam cha gruhana gaditam maya. There tadangam cha, tad angam cha, supplementary knowledge like Upanishads and the Puranas. There are many Puranas, but with the Puranas which are supporting the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, they are all aligning. They are in the two reflections. One has to accept them. They are as they are. If, which is not representing the Lord, it is a covering illusory energy again. It is meant for the people in the mode of passion, for the people in the mode of ignorance. But scriptures, they themselves are transcendental. It is meant for elevating the consciousness of a people. Okay, and further Prabhupada says there are 9 processes of executing devotional service, of which smaranam or meditation is one. Yogi take advantage of the process of smaranam, where bhakti yogis take the special advantage of the process of hearing and chanting. So we have got the 2 processes. One is the deity worship process, and another one is the Bhagavata Dharma, Pancharatri Vidhi, and another one is the Bhagavata Dharma. Bhagavata Dharma, where we hear about the Lord chanting, so all this one. And in the Pancharatri Vidhi, it is the deity worship. These are described, they go parallelly. That's why there is no chance for the Krishna conscious devotees, they fall down. They're always in the safe hands. So it's safe processes. That is Brahma Gaudiya, Guru Parampara, that Sampradaya. They're all protected. Okay, so that is from with that Prabhupada is explaining in this purport. So here Kapil Bhagavan says, Vakshodivasham Rusubasya Mahavibhutehe Pumsam Mano Nail Nivritim Adadhanam. Kantam च कौस्तभमणिरधिभूषणार्थं कुर्यात् मनसि अखिलोका नमस्कृतस्य. This is Manishthanu Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam Yad Upsutya Rahasi Chakadha Paramam Tapaha. This is one has to get the benedictions from the Lord. Oh my dear Lord, I want to see you. Lord directly gives instructions. This is what one has to attain. Manishita Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam. Mamaloka Avalokanam. One has to come to my abode and live with me. So there he says that statement. Varumvarya Bhadramte Vareshima Abhivanchitam Brahman Shreya Parishramah Pumsam Mad Darshanavadihi. You can ask anything, but Pumsam Mad Darshanavadihi, one has to ask benediction that they have to see me. Mad Darshana Avadihi, that is the ultimate thing. Oh Brahma, you can ask anything, but this is the ultimate. Okay, likewise, Lord only gives the benedictions, he only gives answers as well, how to ask what kind of benedictions. Aham atma atmanam dhataha preshtaha presanapi. Aham mai aham the Lord says, Garbhodaksa says to Brahma that one has to love only me than anyone else. Aham atma atmanam dhataha preshtaha sen presamapi. Ato mai ratim kurja dehadihi yat krute priyaha. But people, they love their own bodies more, but they have to love me more. Preshtaha, presanapi, out of their beloved one, I should be the most beloved one of their desires or their in their heart. Likewise, the Lord says, Aham Atma Atmanam Dataha. So likewise, Lord's beautiful form, one has to meditate. It should be the top priority within our vision. Okay, there I stop. Okay, I requested a devotees. If you have got any questions or you wanted to share anything or any comments or reflections, kindly ask questions or kindly share or reflect. Hare Krishna. Okay, no questions. I feel not to stop, but keep going on. So, but it would never ever end. We wanted to hear and again speak all the time. Okay, Gayatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when I have a question, Prabhuji, when we have to see the Lord within our heart and also in other people's hearts
Yes.
and living entities' hearts, it's easy to see Lord residing in the devotee's heart, even in the normal animals. But how do I see Lord when the people are so, like, when they don't have the real right attitude and when they are doing wrong things in this material world, Prabhuji?
Would you like to recite the shloka, Mataji, please?
Yes, Prabhuji. Manasaitani bhutani pranamed bahumanayam manayan Ishvaro jiva kalaya pravishto bhagavan iti. Hare Krishna.
Translation, Mataji, please.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. Yes, Prabhuji.
A little purport as well, Mataji.
Sure, Prabhuji. A perfect devotee, as described above, does not make the mistake of thinking that because the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Paramatma has entered into the body of every living entity has become the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is foolishness. Suppose a person enters into a room, that does not mean that the room has become that person. Similarly, that the Supreme Lord has entered into each of the 8.4 million particular types of material bodies does not mean that each of these bodies has become the Supreme Lord. Because the Supreme Lord is present, however, a pure devotee accepts each body as the temple of the Lord. And since the devotee offers respect to such temples in full knowledge, he gives respect to every living entity in relationship with the Lord. Mayavadi philosophers wrongly think that because the Supreme Person has entered the body of a poor man, the Supreme Lord has become Daridra Narayana or Poor Narayana. These are all blasphemous statements of atheists and non-devotees. Hare Krishna.
Could you comment on this, purport, Mataji, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, what I understood was like obviously the Lord is residing in each and every living entity as the super soul. So we have to respect each and everyone, but at the same time we should also understand that they are not the Lord. Just because the Lord is residing within their heart, that doesn't mean that they became the Lord himself. So we have to just respect them as we have to accept each and everybody as the temple of the Lord, but the Lord is inside within them, so we should respect them because Lord is there, but not treat them as the Lord himself. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Lord Shiva says that Pratyadgama Prishnaya Abhivadanam Vidiyate Sadhu Mitaha Sumadhyame Pranye Parismai Purushaya Chetasa Guha Saiva Nadeha Manine. Guha Saiva, whoever is situated in the heart of the living entity, we have to respect that living entity, not the body as well. So it gives Vidiyasa. So here Lord Shiva says, Pratyudgama Prashanaya Abhivadanam Vidiyate Sadhu Mitaha Sumadhyame Pranye Parasmai Purushaya Chetasa Guhasaiva Nadeha Manini. My dear young wife Sati, certain friends and relatives offer mutual greetings by standing up, welcoming one another and offering obeisances. But who are elevated to the transcendental platform, being intelligent, offer such respects to the super soul who is sitting within the body, not to the person who identifies with the body. Okay, it is another kind of reflection from here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this nice session. Prabhuji, another question may rise from here. That we are told not to associate with non-devotees too much. So how do we process that? We know there is the Lord in the body, but then we as devotees are not supposed to associate with what kind of people? Non-devotees, I mean.
So here, associating with other people. So association is correct. Other person may be devotee or non-devotee is correct. But in between, am I taking the association? Am I giving the association? That depends on the person's mind, his intelligence, whatever he is thinking. That it goes internal. Whether he is taking or giving. If he is situated in the transcendental position, he gives the association to everyone. If he is still not yet, intelligence is not yet purified, he is taking the association of non-devotees.
So it is allowed then, because many places when we read, we see that we should not be in the company of non-devotees.
Yes, just like a Padma Patram Ivam Bhasa. Padma Patram Iva Ambhasa, just like a water drop on the lotus leaf. He is not touched to those if he is a pure devotee. Na binandati na dveshti tasya prajna pratistita. He does not reject, he does not envious, and he does not make association. Na binandati. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tasya prajna pratistita. At the same time, no.
You say neutral.
Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Any other questions, dear devotees? Okay, there are no further questions or comments. Then we shall conclude our session for tonight and see you next Friday. So until then, have a Krishna conscious night. We shall conclude. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya eva cha paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Koti Vaishnavindi
Koti
ki
Vaishnavindi ki
Jai.
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 Krishna conscious.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, everyone. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.